Hi guys, happy Saturday. Wow, so it's really freaking hot, and yeah, that's about it. So how was your guys' Friday night? Anything happen? Anything fun, interesting, exciting? Maybe not. Okay, so I keep finding more. It's still connected to familiars, but this is the waters below the hills. So this is pretty much, it's shamanism, and it's the mix in of shamanism with traditional craft. And we have a really cool passage from Andrew Chumley. So, now at the crossed roads, gather thyself in solitude, and by certain rite perform the mystery of thine own death. Here thou shalt learn the principle of the art, and learn of the death of thy spirit. Dissolve thy own quintessence. I can't even pronounce it. At the center of the cross, and there pass through the moment of all thy deaths, past and future. Andrew Chumley. I love his works. He is amazing. I love everything that he's ever written. I think I've read everything that he's ever written except for one book. That's like a couple $100 that I won't buy. So, now here we go. Story time. Now, it is common in many cultures that practice shamanism that there are other smaller trials that the shaman must pass through to gain more power. So at the basis of the British mystery traditions, one of the sources that nourish the roots of witchcraft, we have the memory of just one of these practices. Now, in Norse culture, it was called the Mead of Inspiration. In Britain, it was known as the contents of the Cauldron of Unwin. It's really interesting because you get reborn in that cauldron. But basically there is a substance, a kind of liquid fire that is only found deep below the hollow hills, that when drunk allow access to greater power. I don't know if you guys are realizing that this is just all metaphor. It couldn't be, maybe not. Wisdom and memory. So, we find memories of this substance in folk tales like the Forbidden Fountain, where the fair folk forbid one drink to humans who sojourn there. And of course, in the 3 drops of Awen in the story of Taliesin. Really interesting stories as well. So for those who find themselves selected to work with the powers of inspiration, creation, and wholeness making through words or music, as presented by the powers of Lenin Sai and the Path of Awen. This is one of the ways one may receive the power of inspiration. Music's very important. Think about that. Music is very important. So the way to get to this source, to get to this source of power, possibly also remembered in the Norse concept of murmurs, well, that Odin loses an eye to get a drink from. So, yeah, that's that, gods. What am I trying to say? That's that whatever you give, some is taken, so some is given. That's that. So this place is so far into the underworld that only the dead usually venture past that place. Okay, so that kind of reminds me of Insidious a little bit right there. So to do so may set off another experience of dissolving, a second making. The feelings of being unraveled and challenged in who one is may repeat, though they will be more bearable the second time. I love these types of things. It just goes along with yesterday's video as well, because I love it how we get transformed daily. So what is faced here more often is a sort of existential crisis where the true nature of fate is revealed somewhat, and the individual may feel blinded as though they have stared into the face of the Medusa. Oh, that makes me think of my Versace necklace. Anyway, they question the fundamental goodness of life and even feel a sense of fear in just being. The importance of one's moral life seems for a time almost unimaginably insignificant. So, here people can become waylaid and trapped in the whiteness, where they forget to return to the redness of everyday life. Now, in the thread of witchcraft to which we belong, whiteness refers to the otherworldly side of life, whereas to go on a red rest is to immerse oneself in paying attention to daily physical life and raising one's vitality. So there's variations of this throughout every single culture, and you'll find it in many, many cultures. Now, this stage of intense whitening that we have been discussing will either accumulate or be precipitated by a vision of one's fetch mate, luring them deeper into the underworld than they'd ever have gone before. So, you're going on a journey with your fetch mate, or your fetch beast, or your, familiar, or, whatever you would call it, your daemon lover. So you may see yourself swimming down through a lake or well. You will see yourself pass through more layers or doors than you had ever thought possible, usually involving an increasing sense of claustrophobia. Oh, jeez. It's scary. Or pressure as you get deeper and deeper. Now, eventually you will find yourself very close to the heart of the spiral, the eye of the storm, where things are weaved and unweaved. So you will need to pass through, and to do so, you will need to be able to let go of everything that is mortal. You will also be stripped of the illusion of up and down, and come to realize that in traveling down to the bottom, you have also reached the height of heights, and now are in the stars. So yeah, as above, so below. As within, so without. Now, on the other side, there is a substance that can be drunk, if may be in a spring, a cauldron, a chalice, or a well, or even sweating from the walls. Ooh. Drinking it triggers an a unitive experience, but it also makes you feel like you need to flee the place instantly, or be unable to return to the land of living. We're getting really deep into trance work here. So I love it. The sense that you are in truth risking never waking up by being there is acutely strong. The true meaning of having already died should have become apparent to you in this chapter. Do you guys know your own deaths? Like the literal, not literal, but I mean like the metaphysical ones? It's interesting. Alright. So the effect of the fire waters is inspiration, but in saying this, it doesn't just mean for creative works. So, it means for the creation of the self. It is relevant here to think about why. What we do called an art. What do we do? Why do we call it an art? So, even if one is not an artist, poet, or a musician, drinking the water seems to trigger the beginning of the incarnation of the original self, its union with the physical body. Now, this is a part of the work that may take years and years and years, but ultimately you will become an increasingly efficient connection point with the otherness, whose full potential as many-layered being is beginning to be realized and manifested. That's a powerful passage, a beautiful passage, and I mean, it really is. So the cauldron, you're rebirthed in the cauldron in traditional craft and Awen, and it's just really interesting. It's a really interesting a concept to actually really think about, and think about the layers of self, our ego, everything else, our shadow self, and then our fetch bride, fetch partner, daemon lover. So we have all of those aspects of ourselves, layers, and then we're doing that by going into the earth. And we are learning and receiving more knowledge and being imparted with more knowledge, so we can actually grow and use our craft, the art. So it is an art of transforming the self and becoming the best that you can be. But I do love that. And especially the part with Andrew Tumbley. Oh my god. Amazing. So, alright guys. Well, it's going to be short today. I have work to do. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, really listen to that and see what you can come up with and see how it resonates with your being, because it's pretty interesting stuff. But I love you guys. Please be safe, stay healthy, all of that good stuff, please. Alright, and I love you all the way from Venus, always, all the way back down. And I love you guys, and thank you guys for all your comments and backing me up, especially with all these videos. And it just makes me very happy. So, yes, I will see you guys tomorrow. So please be safe, and just please stay healthy. If you have to, don't even leave the house. Just stay healthy. I love you guys, and thank you guys for just being there. And I love you with all of my heart. So, alright, bye guys.